Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Gratitude Incarnate podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Rose, and this is the Daily Divine Download. So this morning I was kind of prepping for the podcast, channeling the message for today. And I was like, one thing I need to talk about is how the podcast is now on Amazon Music. I am super, super excited about this. I received an email from Amazon yesterday inviting me to put the podcast on their platform, and I jumped on that opportunity right away because my goal with this podcast is to reach as many people as possible. And people are so different. We're all connected and we're all one, but what makes this experience so special is that we're each unique individuals and we don't all like the same things. Some people prefer Spotify, some people prefer Apple, and some people prefer Amazon. And a really, really cool thing about this is that you can use your Echo, Alexa, you can use any of those devices and just simply ask it to play the Gratitude Incarnate podcast. So I'm super excited about that. And as I was thinking about that, the message for today just kind of hit me and went off like a light bulb. And I was thinking about when this podcast started. When I started this podcast on Anchor, I remember going to look at the analysis report for the podcast, and there was 0 plays and 0 listeners, 0 followers, zero downloads. And whenever we start something like that, a lot of times we have this fiery passion built up and we're like, I don't care about the numbers. We'll get there. I'm just going to do the work and have the faith and everything's going to work out. And that's great. That's it. In my opinion, that's the exact attitude we need when we're diving into these actions to manifest our desires. But here's the thing. A lot of people start to get what I call ungratefulness syndrome. Okay. And what that is, you're 3 months, 6 months, maybe 3 years, 6 years into this project, into this thing that you started with all of this passion, and time goes by and you seem to forget all the reasons why you have to be grateful for this and how far you've come. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day life and the little bitty actions that we need to take that we forget to look at the big picture. And that's exactly what I did this morning when I was thinking about adding my podcast to Amazon Music. I was like, wow, look at how far this podcast has come. We went from just being on Apple and Spotify, and now we're on Stitcher, we're on Amazon Music, and there's a couple other platforms that I can't think of off of the top of my head, but the podcast is growing and it's able to reach more people now as time goes by, and the amount of downloads has increased. The amount of followers has increased, so it's really good to keep us from becoming ungrateful and getting stagnant in things and losing our motivation and losing our passion. We have got to stop and just be grateful for how far we've come. Sometimes when you get this ungratefulness syndrome, you forget about how far you've come and you feel like, this is it. This is as good as it's going to get, But here's the thing. You did not come this far to just come this far. You didn't come all this way and, gain all of this momentum and achieve all of these things just to stop where you are right now, Bob Proctor said it best. There is a place, okay? There is the place that you're wanting to go. You want to go there. You fill in the blank, whatever there is for you. For me, that is having a top self-help podcast that reaches people all around the world to help them become better versions of themselves, which makes this a better version of Earth. You know, my goal is to become a best-selling author, become an authority on gratitude. And that's what I've done. That's what I'm doing every single day. And in order to keep myself from getting stuck where I'm at, I just know that I have to be grateful for how far I've come and where I am right now, okay? And be grateful for the future. You know, there's so much beauty in the unknown. There's so much beauty in that nothingness that's there because it leaves you endless opportunity, okay? So that's what I want to leave you with today. Don't let the ungratefulness syndrome get you down, okay? Maybe you got a job that you really, really wanted and you were really, really excited about it, and you've been there for like 3 months, and, you know, maybe some things have come up. Maybe you've had to work with some people that you didn't quite get along with. You know, maybe they sold the job as something a little bit shinier and nicer than what it seems to be to you now. But I promise you, if you shift your focus from thinking about what you don't want and what you're lacking, and you shift that focus onto what you're grateful for and what you have and how far you've come, your attitude is going to instantly shift, okay? And that's going to help you build more momentum, more motivation, accomplish more, okay? And you're going to have a better attitude and feel better while you're doing it, okay? And that is truly the key. That is what makes humans so special, is our emotions, our feelings, okay? So get into the feeling of that passion, of that desire, of having what you want, and let that guide you today. That's what I'm going to leave you with. I hope this message is helpful for you. I'm sure that it will be. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hitting play today. You are doing the important work to make yourself the highest version of yourself, okay? Remember, this isn't always going to happen overnight. For some people, they're really fortunate and they get lucky, and it does. But you know what? You're lucky too. No matter where you're at, no matter how quickly it's coming, you're getting there, okay? Keep going. Keep the faith. Believe in yourself. And remember, we have a community that we've created to help support you along this journey. You can go to our Facebook group, Gratitude Incarnate. Go ahead and join. It's public. You're not going to be asked any questions. You're not going to be asked to agree to anything. Just join. It's completely free, and we're there to support you in all of your dreams and all your goals and aspirations. So again, thank you so much for listening, and I want you to have a grateful day.